second round of FG Series, and we're in Mexico City then for the second round of 12. And here is the starting grid then for the Mexico City E3. Well then, after the hell of lockdown out in Sao Paulo, Iker Iworld makes his debut on pole, all 5 legs go on. And we go green in Mexico City. Brilliant start from Iker Iworld. Cleanest start of anyone there. You can see all the cars barreling down into turn 1. And let's take a look at that timing tower then. And Iker Iworld still away from Dennis, from Jake Dennis, and Mauro Engel winning last time out. Then you've got Jean-Eric Vergne in 4th and Sam Bird in 5th. Taking a look further back then at I guess Rubens Barrichello. No, that was Charles Peak we were looking at. But Iker Iworld on that 1 of 10 here in Sao Paulo. Not Sao Paulo, here in Mexico City rather. Leads the way from Jake Dennis and Mauro Engel. I don't think I could guess for a better opening weekend for a driver. But of course, Mexico City, known for treacherous parts, it's treacherous in some parts of the track in the FPMC, but here in the FG Series, new series, powered by Formula Car Race 2024, as we watch Iker Iworld leading this race, quite comfortably I might add, from the rest of the pack. Now looking further back, that is one of the Andretti's, and I wager, yeah, it is Charles Peak ahead of Jenson Button. And now looking, that's Felipe Massa. And Massa was having a right old time with it. Looking now to Jerome D'Ambrosio, the man currently in 11th, ahead of Jenson Button coming into the first chicane. I gotta say, the spectator mode in this game, FCR 2024, is arguably quite a bit worse than the one in Monoposto. It's a lot harder to commentate on than Monoposto, which I would argue feels a lot more like real life because it has onboard shots, but the camera shots in FCR 24's spectator mode unarguably 10 times better. Tracks are 10 times more realistic too. But this is the fight for the lead. Iker's found himself in a little bit of a pickle, and he's now got Jake Dennis pounding the back of him. Jean-Eric Vergne ready to pounce in case anything goes wrong. The championship might be killed off after its first season, I'm just saying this now. But on to the third lap of 10. Jean-Eric Vergne sitting the fastest lap of the E3. Lots of weaving from Iker here. Jake Dennis behind, trying to do everything he can. Taylor Bonham, now Jamie Chadwick, Iker's teammate here, sitting the fastest lap, 120.2. But you can see no one really trying to make too much of any attacks. But Dennis does have attack mode, no attack charge in this championship, just attack mode. But he's just not close enough to make too much of a move. I'm not too sure if it's a lack of confidence in that Andretti car. Of course, it was a lot worse last time. I was into the wall. Goes Jean-Eric Vergne, holding up Mauro Engel. Can't go on board with Mauro, unfortunately, considering this. But you can see he's trying to defend from Sam Bird while attacking Jean-Eric Vergne. You can see we do have standing gaps. Oh, close to the wall for the Venturi driver. And it closed up to the DS Automobiles man while holding up the Virgin Racing driver in Sam Bird. But I'm not too sure if he can actually hold on for too much longer. But Iworld is leading this race quite comfortably. The Aurelio Pinnacle junior driver. Now, after being dumped by Mercedes after they left the FEMC, and with 6 laps to go, that's very close to the wall for Sam Bird. Maro Engel has dropped to P5. Bird goes up into P3. There is Sam Bird leading this little pack, fighting for the last place on the podium. It's all about now, can Jean-Eric Vergne close in enough? You can see further back, that is Jake Hughes and Felix Rosenqvist and Jake Dennis dropping off the back of Highworld quite a bit. He's 5 seconds off the back. And you can see, there goes Maro Engel! Maro Engel takes P3. This is quite the fight for position then. And he now chases after Jake Dennis. It's all about whether or not you can. Further back down the order, Sam Bird's teammate Jaime Alguersuari trying to close in on Lucas di Grassi. Can't quite make it work, but you can see more problems being faced by this man, Antonio Felix Acosta, down in 17th. Trying for DS Automobiles. And I gotta say, there are 2 things I want more, and a handful of things I want more from this game. Higher poly cars, very happy that's coming. Better tracks, very happy that's coming. Customization of the car liveries. And lastly, better spectator mode. The only reason we have an FG series here is to showcase the spectator mode in this game. As you can see, there goes Norman Nasso ahead of Antonio Felix Acosta, getting back ahead of him rather. You look to Nasso's teammate in Sebastian Buemi, who's watching this fight for 11th, I'd say. That's Taylor Barnard, who's dropped off quite massively. Nick DeVries has had a massive problem there, because he's just let Button and Rosenqvist by. Charles Pic to P7, and I probably should have mentioned this earlier, but of course, Frenchman doing a very good job for his team. But we look to Sam Bird, we're at halfway distance, and this man, Ika Iworld, is doing a brilliant job in his new team. The Angolan driver is waiting for his next big break to return to the FEMC. Of course, last season in the FEMC, season 17, started quite well with a win in Sao Paulo, but never really picked up much more than that. Jean-Eric Vergne fighting with Sam Bird here, side by side, we both go. Here comes Jean-Eric Vergne trying to keep it down the inside, and Bird has to wait to fight another dare. Jake Hughes has made his way up into P4 with all the fighting that's happened around him. But you can see still Bird and Jean-Eric Vergne, 2 former teammates, still fighting over 5th. And how much closer can he get with only 4 more laps left in this E3 here in Mexico City? Oh, that's a massive shunt! T-bone collision there. And Jake Hughes has actually dropped down to 6th. Not too sure what happened with him. I looked away, and Bird and Vergne are still fighting over 4. As the top 3 pretty much all to themselves at this point. Hughes still quite a ways ahead of Charles Pic. But there's not actually too much else to say, with Jenson Button trying to close in on Felix Rosenqvist, and Nick DeVries in 10th position, holding that last point staying position away from this man, Sebastian Buemi, Season 2 in real life Formula E champion. We've got 3 laps left in Mexico. We're looking to Felipe Massa in that Venturi car. He finished 3rd last time out. He's currently 12th. And a much better home race than here in Mexico. But now we look to... oh, this is what I don't like. You turn on auto, and it's like ADHD. Because that's Charles Pic ahead of Nick DeVries. Jenson Button's dropped to 20th, and what is going on here? That is... I can't even say who it is. I think that was Taylor Barnard in 13th. But that is actually something much worse. Charles Pic. What has happened with Charles Pic? Someone's wall riding there, and that was Felipe Massa. He's dropped to 14th. Charles Pic had the same thing happen to him. Buemi dropped down to 12th position. We look to Taylor Barnard, the man currently in 11th with 3 to go. And there's not actually too much else I can say as we look to Taylor Barnard, the man still in that position, trying to close in on Charles Pic. It's all about how much he can close in. We are still watching him as further ahead. That is Pic trying to make a pass on. Trying to get past rather by. Oh, in the wall! Into the wall goes Charles Pic. Felipe Massa also involved in that. Taylor Barnard dropping down the order. Sebastian Buemi now finds his way up into 10th position, but that was the wall shown very clearly by the Andretti driver. And into the wall he went with 2 laps to go. And you can see De Vries and Rosenqvist fighting over 6th position. Into the wall goes Nick De Vries. Jake Hughes trying to get back ahead of the Mahindra driver. Not too much else I can really say about that. De Vries, however, remaining ahead of the McLaren of Jake Hughes. And Ika Iwald is leading the T3 by 7 seconds. And then it's Jake Dennis 5 seconds ahead of Mauro Engel, who is defending. Doesn't have to defend too hard from Sam Bird though. And then you've got Jean-Eric Vergne on his own. And then you've got the Mahindra duo followed up by Hughes and Jenson Button. It is a little bit of a... There isn't actually too much to say about this racing as we look to the 2 Nissan cars. We're on the penultimate lap of the C3. Looking to Taylor Barnard, the man currently well. Felipe Massa trying to close in, the man in 13th. It wasn't an ideal exit for the McLaren driver. As we look further down the order, the man currently in 9th position. And it's Lucas Di Grassi driving for the Dragon Penske team. Jerome D'Ambrosio has found his way ahead of Jamie Chadwick. Chadwick wishing that she could have as clean as a race as her teammate who started on pole and shot into the distance from there. As you can see, still a little bit of a fight going on between the 2 Mahindra teams, Mahindra drivers of Felix Rosenqvist and Nick De Vries. As he's still trying to take 6th away from him. If they fight too hard, they might actually accidentally let Jake Hughes come by, so they probably wouldn't want to do that. But still, it is Rosenqvist from De Vries and Hughes 6 through 8, but Hughes is closing in on the final lap here in Mexico City officially. As you can see, still not too good of an exit for a lot of these drivers. But we look to the race leader of iWorld, who has hit the wall. That's the wall for iWorld. Jake Dennis takes the lead. I cannot believe what I've just seen. iWorld, the man who's been leading this race from lap 1, hits the wall, hits it again. Massive spin for iWorld, and he faces the wrong direction. Felipe Massa has just set a new fastest lap of a 1 second lap time. Massive problems going on. Norman Nato now finds himself up the order. What is going on? Where has Ika Iwald gone? He's dropped so far down the order. And someone's out of this race, I'm pretty sure. I'm not too sure, but it is going to be this man, Jake Dennis, as he comes through the stadium section of the track. Taylor Barnard in 13th and apparently 800 seconds behind Jake Dennis. And Dennis will come home and he will win this E3. But we gotta find that is Taylor Barnard. Checkered flag is flown for Jake Dennis, who wins the Mexico City E3 from Mauro Engel and Jean-Eric Verne. What the hell was that? Then it's Sam Bird, Iker Iwald, Felix Rosenqvist, Sebastian Buemi, and Nick DeVries. Then it's Norman Nato, Jensen Button. The top 10 was Jake Hughes, Felipe Massa, Taylor Barnard, Charles Peake, Jamie Chadwick, Jerome D'Ambrosio, Jaime Alguersuari, Lucas Degrassi, Rubens Barrichello, and Felix and Antonio Felix Acosta making up the rest of your finishes. In the drivers' standings and constructors, Mauro Engel leading the way from Jake Dennis and Nick DeVries. Then it's Jean-Eric Verne and Felix Rosenqvist, the top 5, with Venturi leading the way in the constructors. We'll see you guys next time then for the Santiago E3.